So I bet you didn't know that one of the oldest tiny house communities in America, if not the oldest, is just a stone's throw from here. Since 1925, the International Organization of Good Templars, or IOGT, has owned a number of wooded acres in Geneva, Illinois, including about 50 stugas, or stugas. That's Swedish for summer cottage. They call it Good Templar Park, and it predates the modern tiny house movement by at least 75 or 80 years. It's kind of a mysterious fenced-off private area. You might call it a compound. A friend of ours who grew up around here used to tell us it was some kind of a cult. It turns out that's not the case at all, although I do think I know where those rumors came from. Stick with me to the end and I'll tell you all about that. The fact is, every year they open up for public tours. Here's a peek at what we saw behind the fence. Over the creek and through the woods are about 50 tiny cottages with an average footprint of only about 15 by 20 feet. Many are brightly colored and cheerfully decorated, but each one is totally unique. No two are alike. This secluded little village about 40 miles west of Chicago on the Fox River was originally a recreational retreat and campground for members of the International Organization of Good Templars, or IOGT. I'll tell you more about them in a bit. Over time, it developed into a village of small permanent summer residences. Many of these stugas date back to the 1940s and 50s and have a distinctly mid-20th century vibe you don't get with tiny homes built today. Some are updated and some are like time capsules. A few were built as recently as the early 2000s. Personally, I kind of like the ones that harken back to a less complicated time. The variety of styles is a big part of what makes this place so remarkable. You've got several that are full-on Snow White style Scandinavian stugas, complete with garden gnomes and such. Some are done up top to bottom with shake cedar siding. Others are more modest and understated, or rustic and cabin-like. A few have fallen into disrepair and are in need of a little TLC, but by and large the place is well kept, and you can tell the folks here take a lot of pride in their little getaway cabins. As far as I could tell, they all have water and electricity, so it's not an off-the-grid situation. But as I mentioned, these are primarily seasonal summer retreats. Except for a couple of the newer ones, most are not insulated, so spending the night in the dead of a northern Illinois winter would be out of the question. In fact, we were told they turn off the water after October through March or April. Speaking of water, there is a common shared bathroom and shower house, similar to a campground. However, I did notice that some of the cottages had their own private bathroom, equipped with a portable chemical toilet. One had a propane incinerator toilet, which is like the Cadillac of no plumbing toilet options. Take it from me, I've done a lot of research on this topic. All in all, I was pretty impressed with the historic tiny house village at Good Templar Park. Oh, by the way, did I mention they have a bona fide, genuine Viking ship there too? We learned that the cottages at Good Templar Park are not allowed to be more than 600 square feet and 16 feet high. This cabin's only 110 square feet and 15 feet high, so I guess it qualifies. It has always been my plan to move it to another location. I was originally thinking of somewhere more remote, but now I'm thinking Good Templar Park might be a possibility. And they do have some lots for sale, but there's a catch. To own a tiny house in Good Templar Park, you have to be a member of the International Organization of Good Templars, a fraternal organization that promotes temperance. That means you're supposed to swear off alcohol completely, not just when you're in the park. When I think of Templars, I think of these guys. But in this context, I gather a good Templar is someone who subscribes to the idea that your body is a temple that shouldn't be desecrated by consuming drugs or alcohol. Is that a deal breaker? I don't know. Believe it or not, this isn't a beer belly. We've never really been heavy drinkers. Drinking's just never been that important to us.
No.
So giving up alcohol wouldn't be that huge of a sacrifice. If the IOGT would have us and this tiny cabin, maybe it's something to consider. Am I crazy? Tell me what you think down in the comments. So the whole Scandinavian thing they've got going on, it's interesting. It's all new to me. I'm not Scandinavian. Any Scandinavians in your family?
Not a chance.
It's not weird or creepy at all, but who are we to judge? Anyway, bottom line, the tiny house community at Good Templar Park is not a cult. As far as I can tell, the IOGT is just a bunch of friendly folks having a good time, living a clean life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But what do I know? I'm just a big guy sitting here talking to a camera with my gal, sitting in front of our triangular tiny house. Wait, before you go, I want to tell you about this t-shirt. It says "Greatness lurks in the smallest of places." With my little with my logo right there. There's some transcendent layers of meaning here that go beyond the whole tiny house thing. It's the flip side of the devil's in the details. A reminder that it's the little things we do that matter. Getting out of bed every day, working hard, calling your mom while you still can. Those are the things that make you great. So head on over to my merch store, get yourself one of these babies, and more importantly, wear it. It helps me out and keeps the wife off my back about all the time and money I'm putting into this tiny cabin.